Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from me, your host, ImperialDane, and today I have for you a 1 vs 1 on Beaux Lowlands, and I have a little surprise for you, and some of you might be going, wait, you have a surprise for me, Dane? What could that be? A new skin pack by Super Duper Dude of the Relic News forums. Made a rather large one for all four armies. And of course we might all be saying something in here, and of course there's a bit more down here for the Panzer Elite, who's getting some proper SS uniforms. Yes indeed, oak leaf pattern all the way, and in fact let's get right down to it. Fighting for the Panzer Elite shall be me. Yes indeed, I know some people apparently don't like it, but I also know other people, actually like it, so a bit of this and a bit of that. Plus, of course, this is mainly just to sort of showcase it. It's still an interesting game, at least I hope you find it interesting. Opposing me shall be Broskiier of the Americans, 3rd Division, me fighting for the 17th SS. Good fun, but looking in more Panzergrenadiers on the way. Again, lots of lovely oak leaf patterns. And there we go, first Panzergrenadier team is ready for the glory of the Wehrmacht axis. Barracks up for Broskiier, and apparently he sets about sending his engineers to each half of the map. Jolly good, jolly good. Munitions point being secured. Panzergrenadiers heading westwards with the Gewehr 43 underway. All good, all good. Forms down to prepare for an announcement. Not quite, I think. Just to shift servers away from what was handled by some other firm to handle company affairs online. There's certainly the possibility, but I don't think, that might be happening. And a bit of nice work there. For someone who loves my cars, that's always nice. Had fought up against him. I lost Panzer Elite versus Commonwealth. I'm a bit rusty there, so I'm not doing quite as well as I could lately. Panzergrenadiers are advancing. Getting crowd sneaking about. Engineers continuing their way. There we go. First rifleman team out, and there we go again. Sort of different uniforms. A bit of mix there in colours as well. Always nice there. 5 months playing, and my cars are helped out quite a bit for him. Good to hear. As I say right there, that is what matters. Looks like Broskiier's riflemen are getting a bit aggressive. Panzergrenadiers seizing a point here. Perhaps not the best thing, but again, sort of to keep them together. And there we go. Engineers coming under fire. Gewehr 43 is firing away.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
A fight between the Panzergrenadiers and the engineers. And the engineers are quickly losing this, while Broskiier is actually going for the strategic cut-off point there. Of course, all knights I suppose, unless of course you decide to go through here, in which case it won't do much, because again there's points right next to it. More riflemen are arriving from Mr. Broskiier. Kampfgruppe Company going up, and there we go, riflemen getting hunted down by the Panzergrenadiers advancing. Firing. Rifleman taking up Peter position there in heavy cover, and we are seeing a suppressive volley, thus denying partly the usage of it, and of course allowing my other Panzergrenadiers to actually get up close, which is rather the point there. Of course, using suppressive volley to sort of suppress the defenders. There's only one way to do it. Fraps being a bit sillier. Hopefully it will be stable. I had to restart the computer after 2 attempts, which were simply ruined by the fact that Fraps went utterly apeshit. Or librarian poo, depending on what sort of books you're reading. Half track on the way, and yes, I have been looking into sort of the returns, but again, I haven't had the time. I'm aware of it, of course, the DX story thing, but semester start and all rather makes things a bit less straightforward. Again, since I had to sort of spend time on that, getting books, getting idea of all these things, and I've sort of administrative issues. And Fraps, yes, stop doing that, please. Panzergrenadiers engaging the riflemen. Panzergrenadiers are continually advancing. Vorwärts, Männer. And a rifleman bites the dust. Fraps looks like to be close to doing it as well. And returning to the fight. There we go. Fraps is stable again. That's sort of the problem, I believe. Again, it's sort of a problem with a lot of those recording programs for in-game, apparently.
The enemy has moved.
Of course, quickly shifting about, having to react. Broskiier being really aggressive, trying to hit me at every angle, of course, ensuring I can't cover all. And of course, in that case, something like an infantry half track is actually a great thing to have, of course, if you can get it to where it matters. And more riflemen moving in from Broskiier. Panzergrenadiers right in the center, pulling away, not entirely sure where to go. It's all a bit unsure, which targets to hold, where to defend, and all that. Bit of a miss there. At the same time, though, by Broskiier, he's not really trying to mine down. I mean, that certainly would have helped him right there, for example, when he's taking points here. No, lay down some mines. So it makes it a bit harder for me to actually counter-attack. Panzergrenadiers down by the rifle here, not looking too well either. The SS Panzergrenadiers with the 17th doing quite a bit of damage. And there we go, half track again. Also note the crewman there, nicely fresh looking. Rifleman on the run, and somehow this single Panzergrenadier held the center against all odds. A true Panzergrenadier. And quickly moving about the half track, of course. Now with that, I am able to such more swiftly react to sort of threats as they appear. And of course, in that case, it's a bit less useful for Broskiier to sort of split out his troops, because I can of course react fast, and of course even more viciously, and problematic for him. Of course, I can just, you know, move a lot more firepower, much more compressively, of course, and that is, of course, 2 Panzergrenadier teams inside a half track, which again makes it a bit more difficult for him to really do something. We are seeing the Panzer support coming up, and of course, I mean, it also makes it a bit harder for him to sort of spread out. He needs to sort of focus his troops more as now. Otherwise, of course, I'll be constantly getting the advantage in numbers and firepower, thus quickly decimating his troops, or at least ruining his attempts to take points and all that. But Panzer support command is up, anti-tank, half track, and all the other fun. Panzergrenadiers linking up with the other chaps in the half track, heading towards the center, and then no, they move west to cover their Kettenkart. Not a bad idea. Flaps, oh flaps, please be nice. And back to the fighting. Half track moving onwards against these riflemen. There we go again. Only 1 rifleman team against 6 Panzergrenadiers and a half track. Not the best situation, not the best of odds. Quick dismounting action while the others fight on from the half track. We are seeing a supply yard going up from Broskiier. He might be hoping. And he's also got a Trier center up. That's certainly a nice thing to see. Flamethrowers, more riflemen. Now he's actually sort of focusing up. His engineers continuing here. Sadly, no attempt at mining, though, again. He could do with some mines. Now attacking towards the center while the half-track is moving west. Going to have to quickly pull that back as the larger assault is going in here. Panzergrenadiers opening up on the engineers, home to clear out that threat. But one team already in a bit of trouble, having to pull out. And engineers taking 1 man down. Riflemen pushing on. And oh dear, heavy losses for the Panzergrenadiers. 2 men down. Half track rushing in. Gewehr 43. Gunners firing away. Engineers going here for the point. And no, he's actually moving in. It might have been an idea to actually sort of now, while the half track was occupied, to perhaps, you know, lay down some mines. Again, mines can make a difference. Half track not wanting to get too close, but there we go. Anti-tank half track moving in. Bit of focused fire as well from that. Again, lovely combination there with the skins. Rather makes things seem a bit more lively, and I'll certainly be sure to put that up amongst the skin pack mix. Of course, update the mix on the front page, so be sure of that. It shall not be denied. Panzergrenadiers fighting off against a larger force of riflemen and engineers, hoping to delay until the half track can arrive. Engineers pushing onwards in the east. Fraps and returning to the fight. Engineer down. Half tank looking rather beaten up, actually. Anti-tank half tank once more arriving. 4 kills for that so far. And the engineers are getting pretty bold here still. And again, that's slightly what makes me feel a bit sad. Again, no attempt at mining. There's plenty of good spots here to mine to make it harder for me to sort of move into the eastern area again, but it just doesn't quite happen. Of course, even to mine these areas, of course, make it harder for me to take this back, you know what I mean? Try to sort of think ahead with mining. Still, let's see what he will be doing next. I'm, of course, a bit unsure. I haven't seen any vehicles. Should I be sort of hoping for BARs now, or what should I? I do believe I opt instead to go for the Panzer Support Command upgrade, and he's going for the Weapon Support Center. Could he be going for heavy machine guns? That could work against the half-track. A bit of armor-piercing rounds. Could he be going for mortars? Could he be going for a sniper? Who knows? Half-track getting repaired by the ever-diligent Panzergrenadiers. And the large force of Americans of the 4th Infantry Division sneaking towards west. More Gewehr 43 is being equipped. Kettenkart heading eastwards, and there we go. Panzer Support Command upgrade. Holding the line here. We are seeing, in fact, 3 engineer teams of Broskiier. That's a bit interesting. In particular, considering he only has 2 rifleman teams, I think he might be having 1 engineer team too many. And no medic stations either. Never mind, he has 3. Never mind, that's my
The enemy
fault.
will never be
Still,
able
though,
to match
could
the
be better with
efficiency
4.
of our support
And of
command
course,
structure.
mines. Use those damn mines, Broskiier. Panzergrenadiers moving in. Flanking in from these while the half-track holds the line. Veterancy achieved and going for defensive in this case.
We are losing
And offensive for the Panzergrenadiers inside. Right, in a bit of trouble, but they are moving in. No sticky bombs apparently. Panzergrenadiers still in a bit of trouble, forced away. But the rest are holding. Anti-tank half-track rushing in once more to provide a bit of fire support. Flaps obviously not being very supportive though. Still not as bad as the previous attempts. It quite went out of line, and heavy damage to the half-track. Engine is on fire. Repairs will have to be swiftly done, and we are seeing a Hotchkiss light tank at the same time ready. And there we go. Sniper has revealed himself. Getting one Panzer Grenadier. Kettenkraut securing what he can here, and the American securing what he can here still. No attempt at mining, Broskiier. Of course, I imagine he's watching this channel as well, so of course this could be a good way for him to sort of learn. And again, I don't mind playing with my fans, you know. Just be aware that I don't quite always have the time. Sometimes I do, other times I don't. So, kindly respect that.
Hotchkiss rolling out.
And a Hotchkiss ready. Being sent in from the 100th Replacement Battalion to aid the Panzergrenadiers, provide them with a bit of armour.
We are losing ammunition.
And another Panzergrenadier gets sniped. Proves to be silly. There we go. Kettenkraut number 2 arriving. Partly to sort of, you know, help with taking territory back from Broskiier, but also in this case, actually to help the Kettenkraut in spotting the sniper. Charging in with the Hotchkiss, catching the sniper. There we go. Firing away with the 37mm gun. Quite low velocity. And then again, the Hotchkiss was a French tank designed for French tank doctrine. So it wasn't designed to, you know, blow a lot of things. Come on, Fraps. Do be nice. Hotchkiss so far not securing any kills though. And again, continuing with the harassment, still lacking in the mines and also lacking a bit in reaction over there. I mean, the sniper certainly is a nice idea, and of course harassing also a nice idea, but again, you know, do try to make it harder for your opponent, again, particularly against Panzer Grenadiers. You know, it can have quite an effect if you know how to use it. Of course, now with 2 Kettenkrauts, it might be a bit too late. Fraps needs to stop acting silly. Hotchkiss though on the hunt. So the Panzer Grenadiers. And looks like he is shifting side now, getting a heavy machine gun as well. Sneaky Broskiier. And a motor pool. Oh, it does remind me exactly at a time to have a look at Broskiier, who has gone infantry again. He probably could have used that to lay down some mines with his rifle. And again, lots of munitions. Oh, Broskiier, what are you doing? Why aren't you using all of that munitions? That lovely, lovely munitions. Quite the mistake there, in my opinion. And of course, I'm rather realizing, of course, he's shifting towards the east. Whatever shall I do? Heavy machine gun to cover. That's certainly not an entirely bad idea. But again, you know, don't float that many munitions. I mean, again, mines. Mines. I mean, if you're watching my channel again, mines. And there we go. Finally laying down some mines about mining time. And there we go. Fallschirmjaegers ready again. Bit of a new look. And immediately get sniped, but still. Bit of a variety there. Ever lovely. Hotchkiss upgraded with the Nebelwerfer rockets. Or the Stukas of Fuss. Not hitting anything, really. Mines being laid down by the rifleman, and now he lays down mines after 13 minutes. I'm not entirely sure that's the best idea. Or at least I think it's a bit late for that. And Fallschirmjaegers with FG-42's Hotchkiss hits the mine. I tried to retreat them, but I fear I might actually sort of press the wrong button, as occasionally happens.
Enemy unit.
There we go. Fallschirmjaegers were slaughtered. Sticky bombs now on the way, finally. Panzer Grenadiers, half-tracks everything in, moving in to support the Hotchkiss. Don't want to lose that. Still, Broskiier needs to break through. And free, possibly, even now getting an anti-tank gun. Rifleman taking some quite heavy losses. No medic station. I mean, he should have been doing more here previously instead of now shifting and then deciding to mine again. That's slightly his problem. Yeah, Flap still acting silly. Again, not as silly as it could be, thus running everything. But, you know, again, it's certainly one of the problems with more novice Americans. Either think, okay, I have to completely defend. Of course, then I don't have to defend at all. You have to sort of remember, prepare, and nonetheless have your mind strew it out. I mean, it can be used a bit offensively, but again, you know, to protect. And again, don't float around with lots of troops near one point. Careful with that. And of course, don't clump him up next to a point like here, you know, where I can see it. That's pretty much asking me to sort of hammer it with artillery.
Ready.
And rockets hit. Nothing much really. Kill one engineer, that's about it.
We're losing a munitions point.
Panzergrenadiers streaming ever onwards. A mortar half-track now ready to provide additional artillery fire in this case, although of a lighter kind. We are seeing Americans once more going for the west. And it's also time for the mid-game analysis. Of course, also note he's rather going for a combination of engineers and riflemen. Again, you know, not bad, but again, don't stick them close to the same bloody point, you know. There's no point in having them standing about like that. I mean, you could have used a rifleman to mine about again, or take another point instead of creating what you'd call a pretty nice artillery target. Such things are valuable. Of course, there's only going to be a bit more of a lesson in those sorts of things, but there we go. Anti-tank gun ready. Where shall I be going? Shall I be going for what his stronger point is? Now he set up the heavy machine gun there, quite interesting. And of course, that might indicate he might be sort of trying to establish his own strong point there, but looks like he's sending the anti-tank gun westwards. You know, again, I mean, do try to use things like that. I mean, in a grander strategy, you know, then try to take this and then move towards west. While you perhaps do a bit of harassment there, that would certainly be a quite good strategy, but apparently that's not quite in Broskiier's mind. On the other hand, now with the half-track, several half-tracks, in fact 3, that's a nice little force there, although the 17th wouldn't quite have had that, although they did get some reconnaissance Panzergrenadiers from the 9th and 10th. Those would actually have had half-tracks, so I suppose we could say they're from there. And of course the Hotchkiss from the 100th Training and Replacement Battalion, providing a bit of armoured fire. Of course, trick for me is sort of trying to hold it all, and Broskiier is doing quite a bit of nice job there in harassing, but not quite, you know, in delivering any sort of fatal blows, and certainly not in keeping his own men alive. That's a bit of a problem there. And that's certainly something he needs to work on. He might have, of course, the anti-tank gun is good, but again, work it in with the rest of your troops. Don't look what might look like being sitting on his own. Of course, some Luftwaffe troops for me might help, you know, with a flak feeling, place up some defense, of course, shorten up lines there, and of course the half-tracks with Panzergrenadiers in them. Let's in fact return to the fight. Panzergrenadiers counter-attacking in the east, some with a Panzerschreck. I'm in this case a bit unsure what might be going for. Could there be a Sherman on the way? That would actually cause me a bit of a problem, thus me going for the Panzerschrecks for my Panzergrenadiers. Anti-tank gun opening up here. Pushing through here with light armor and some Panzergrenadiers. Mortar half-track also providing a bit of support nearby. Half-track quite a bit of damage going in against the rifleman, and we are seeing a sticky bomb on the half-track. Oh dear, riflemen though are getting gunned down. They need to get out of there. Retreat! Retreat, noble riflemen, retreat!
Engineer unit lost.
And no, does not look like it. Engineer team also got killed. And a rifleman team, that was quite a blow to Broskiier there. Mine hit by some Panzergrenadiers. And there we go, a bit of a quiet. And of course I could have shown perhaps a longer game. I had also one as Wehrmacht, but again that's sort of the 1 hour length. And of course there's a sort of question where the only way I can show that at the moment is of course lowering the quality of when I process the video. And of course the question is, would you actually allow that? In which case, of course, I will do it, because it's actually a pretty reasonable one. There we go, Rangers ready. So, again, new skins. Of course, again, this rather showcasing a lot. There we go, fresh Fallschirmjaegers. And of course, I tried to call them in here, and of course, then I learned something. He probably had his heavy machine gun there, so at the same time, I pretty much knew where to send all of my artillery. Of course, was a nice little tidbit there. FG-42 is ready for the Panzergrenadiers. The FG-42 sort of an early assault rifle. It's actually intended as a light machine gun, but it could be used as an assault rifle. Plus, as a battle rifle, it had quite a few things there. Quite advanced, intended for the Fallschirmjaegers to fight them with more automatic fire.
Enemy unit down.
And the Kettenkrad goes up in flames. Half-track pulling away in the face of the anti-tank gun and all this. And we are seeing an assault right through the center. Fallschirmjaegers holding the line. MP40 equipped Fallschirmjaegers going in against the Rangers. Anti-tank, hard-track. Hotchkiss moving in. Veterancy 2 for the right, and Fallschirmjaegers going down. Oh dear. And we are seeing grenades as well. Oh dear, but some Panzergrenadiers arriving from the other side do slow down the Rangers, thus saving the day, although just barely. And these Rangers, oh so very close to going down. But looks like they will be making it this time around. But again, you know, can't help but note the lack of mines. That's really his major problem. And of course, lack of a medic station would also have helped. And also keeping this machine gun a bit more mobile. I mean, yes, it's covering this point, but you know, I'm not really going to be bothering for the most part in this. And of course, in this stage, I mean, it's rather on its own. I mean, if I focus my Hotchkiss and mortar half-track on this, it's not going to last very long now, is it? And there we go. Also a bit of new Luftwaffe ground troops. Away with that silly jerry can on their back, which I never understood why. And of course, in proper Luftwaffe uniforms. Grenade off. Several Luftwaffe troops go down, but again, that's actually their uniforms. With a bit of camo there, some of them were given that. Panzergrenadiers moving in here. Sort of hoping to, you know, spot, making things a bit easier, of course, for the artillery to actually hit it. I mean, it decreases scatter. And several hits. None of them actually do anything. That's just terrible. Of course, the mortar half-track now moving in. And these Panzergrenadiers with the Panzergrenadiers need to get out there, hitting a mine on the sheet, and oh dear, they got killed. Bother. But a push from Broskiier again, evacuating from the west. Might be again want to focus on the east. And of course, he might also want to consider getting that heavy machine gun out. Of course, now getting mortared, and it got cleared out. Never mind. Engineers getting sorted out, slowed down. And there we go, grenades from the Americans. No, yes, grenade on the Fallschirmjaegers. Rangers also charging in. More grenades. Oh dear, right, the half-track. Not doing anything. Riflemen taking heavy losses. He could call in artillery. He could call in artillery. That would be absolutely devastating. Come on, Broskiier. Artillerie. Feuer frei. No, he doesn't quite. Oh dear. Broskiier, you silly person. And an attempt to knock out that half-track just doesn't quite make it. And this turned out quite drastically. Heavy losses on both sides. But a bit of a miss there. No artillery. I mean, it could have worked because, again, there was a pretty serious congestion with infantry and all that all over the place. And now, of course, just firing some artillery straight into the American base. Close enough to do so. And do a bit of harassment right there. Huzzah. Of course, currently I have sort of managed to secure most of the map. More Luftwaffe troops arriving from some nearby Luftwaffe security units. So that's alright. Anti-tank gun once more inching in. Fallschirmjaegers standing ready for the fight as well. Good job. Moving in, securing points from the Americans. Let us return here. The Americans once more shifting the axis of attack. I mean, Broskiier got that right, not banging his head into a wall. But he needs to work a bit on that mining business. And we are seeing a larger force here. Fallschirmjaegers and Panzergrenadiers ambushing some engineers. Doing some very terrible things to those engineers, in fact, sorting them out in very short order. Oh. But Luftwaffe troops repairing the half-track, even popping into it. Half-track actually being quite veteran. Defensive and offensive veterancy.
Grenadiers, now you will capture with the utmost.
And a bit of fieldcraft deciding I might want to upgrade my Panzergrenadiers. And there we go, cutting Broskiier off from his resources here. Panzergrenadiers and Fallschirmjaegers holding the line here. At least dreaming of holding the line, but they are quite simply outgunned and outnumbered. And here Broskiier makes a bit of a mistake. He leaves his anti-tank gun unsupported. That could very most easily bite him in the arse. Luftwaffe troops dropping out. Fallschirmjaegers taking over their place. And then shifting most of this mobile mechanized force towards the west. To swiftly counter this movement by Broskiier. Luftwaffe troops popping out. Seizing a Panzercheck.
Seizing territory from us.
And setting up a flak feeling. That's ever lovely. Mortar half-track actually does look pretty worse for wear. And Broskiier cutting off my access to the resources here. Certainly not entirely a bad idea. And anti-tank half-track runs into a bit of problem. Lots of fire being directed. Anti-tank half-track is lost. Oh dear. That was me getting a bit too aggressive. But artillery fire sorts that out. Rangers moving in. Further Panzergrenadiers arriving while the Fallschirmjaegers flying away from the half. So there we go. Und die Panzergrenadier zerstören die Amerikaner. Engineers flanking in. Oh dear, the infantry half-track finally went down. Avenge it, Fallschirmjaegers, avenge it. Oh, grenade going off. Oh dear. Quite a lot of blood being shed right here. Engineers down. Fallschirmjaegers retreating. Riflemen getting shot up. That was quite the loss in terms of vehicles. Although the mortar is actually still there. With further Luftwaffe troops arriving to support. And the Luftwaffe flak feeling covering these 2 points. Riflemen on the run.
We have captured the objective. We are ready for orders. Paratroopers ready for orders.
Oh dear, these Panzergrenadiers were almost knocked out by mortar fire. Fly my own mortar, which is less than good. More Rangers with Thompson submachine guns.
Our Luftwaffe brothers are available for deployment.
Panzergrenadiers are forced to retreat.
Ready to pass on orders.
Fallschirmjaegers, Rangers getting slowed down, aiding things a bit for me, but they fire up. And go straight for the Panzergrenadiers, globbing a grenade. Panzergrenadiers dodge that mostly. Bit of offensive veterancy for these Fallschirmjaegers. Panzergrenadiers with double, and there we go, the Hotchkiss moving in. Also with its own offensive veterancy. More veterancy for these Panzergrenadiers. Riflemen charging in.
Can now use incendiary grenades. The enemy
Rangers need to consider getting out of there. Oh dear, sticky bomb on the Hotchkiss. It was not built for that. Can't actually remember what it was built for. Can't quite remember French doctrine, what they actually had on light tanks that are actually sort of the same as the British one. I don't think it was meant for exploitation. I do believe it was sort of reconnaissance infantry support. Might be wrong there though. Germans captured quite a few of the Hotchkiss. They also captured the Renault light tank, which, I mean, they look pretty much identical except for a few details right here on the front. I mean, otherwise, they were pretty much the same. Funny that. The Renaults were pretty much given away. The Hotchkiss was sort of hidden away. Some converted, others not. And I don't quite know what happened there. Flapspring City, I fear. Bit of sandbags going up, a bit of barbed wire, so you can't quite as easily charge at the flak feeling. That was the idea, at least.
Our superior forces and tactics have reduced the enemy to 50 points.
And a bit of engagement right here. Incendiary grenades from the Panzergrenadiers. Grenade getting locked at the Panzergrenadiers. Riflemen running through the fire. And a Panzerjäger commander is actually up. Not quite much use for a moment. And we are seeing another heavy American assault in the center. Hoping to secure the points there. Only a few Fallschirmjägers are holding the line. And again, he's He's making that sort of same mistake. He's sort of blobbing up his troops next to a point, and of course again, remember, seemingly forgetting that I have a Hotchkiss with rockets, and of course the mortar. Luftwaffe troops running in to support this counter-attack. Rangers slowly dying here. Engineers also taking quite a bit of fire. And the Luftwaffe desperately and heroically trying to hold the line, but they're simply getting cut down. Rangers forced to retreat. Hotchkiss gets another, and then actually pushes on. Going to be quite the tiny terror. Panzergrenadiers attacking from the south. Yeah, Fraps once more being a bit silly, but again, not badly, I fear. Thank, and there we go. GG. Yes, perhaps not the most high tense fight, and I certainly apologize for that, but that was sort of partly because people have been asking for Panzer Elite games. I thought this one was alright, interesting at least. Showcase some good things, showcase some bad things, as always, and of course, basically it was a bit of a short thing to sort of showcase some of all those new lovely skins here, you know, get people an idea of what's going on, and which I figured most people would appreciate. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe to tell friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? And of course, what can we learn from this? Well, I mean, Broskiier had the sort of right at the end, the beginning, sort of take as many points as possible, harass, but he sort of failed to sort of follow that up with some mining. I mean, he really had a lot of munitions which he could have been using at mines. Very, very gravely wasted opportunity there. He also sort of should have reacted faster when they began throwing out half track. He should have not been spreading out his troops as eagerly then. A medic station would have been good, and of course sort of hiding the heavy machine gun there and not using it in a slightly more aggressive, supportive manner was also a bit of a mistake, I can't help but feel. Certainly I could have also perhaps, you know, been a bit more aggressive myself early on, and also perhaps tried a bit more for a cohesive line. I got occasionally a bit too greedy, I fear, and of course lost that one Fallschirmjaeger team in a less than inspiring manner. That was certainly not good at all. But of course, there you go. Cheers.